Matt, obviously, offensively, turnovers were an issue. What else? It seemed like offense was just hard from the start for you guys today.
Yeah. I thought we got off to a good start, in the game. We wanted to go to Trey Kaufman, just to kind of establish him with that matchup. I thought he did some good things for us. But we just didn't sustain. At the same time, Bruce Thornton made some plays to start the game and kind of kept them afloat at that time when we were going. As the half wore on, I just thought our attention to detail wasn't great. And I think you see it like in our box outs. Like that's where the number one thing that I thought at halftime, like they had more rebounds than us and they had fewer turnovers than us. And then you see how we dominate the glass in the second half. Like if we have a better effort on the glass, there's just too many opportunities there. But give them credit. Like they played well. They did some really good things. I think the stat that probably jumps out to me is their points off of turnovers. Like that's the game right there. If we take care of the basketball and those turnovers and we just miss shots, we probably win the game. And we don't score the ball in any of those possessions. But now they're not running out and getting layups and we're getting behind plays and fouling them and stuff. But we didn't play well enough, to get the win.
Matt, what's it like preparing for an interim coach at this point in the season? Just what differences do you see from this Ohio State team today?
Yeah.
And maybe that you saw on tape earlier this
Nothing.
season? What's
If he was here, the score would have been 73-69 Ohio State. Nothing. He's his assistant. They didn't run anything different. They didn't do anything different. They're the same team. It's a player's game. I know we got to organize. I know we got to structure. I know we got to get them to believe. We got to coach the hell out of them. But at the end of the day, it's a player's game. They have good players.
You mentioned the turnovers. What stood out about Zed Key's defense on Zach Edey?
Yeah, he did a good job of stripping him. Like, I don't know, whether he was just exposed to that or Zed just picked up something, like a pitcher tipping something, But, what happened today and him getting those strips, hasn't happened much all year. He does a pretty good job of protecting the ball, but it was a big part of the game. Zed's ability to defend. And, Akparo's, a shot blocker, so you want to get your body on Akparo as much as you can, because when he has space, he actually is good on people that he guards, but he's good at his help side blocks too. I wouldn't have thought that would have helped them defensively, by him getting out of the game, but it sure did. Zed did a good job.
Matt, kind of going off of that, not only were they good on Zach, they were good getting out on your shooters.
Yes.
And you're a team that shoots a lot of threes.
Right.
You only had, I think, 9 attempts tonight. So
Right.
how difficult was it where that was taken away and you couldn't get an offensive rhythm from the outside?
Yeah, and if you don't have them and they take them away, you don't want to shoot them. So you know what I mean? You still want to go. And I think what they really got us to do from a decision-making standpoint, if we could have it back, our intermediate shots. I think we had a stretch there in the second half where we didn't take very many and we played better offensively. In the first half, we had too many intermediate shots, kind of in between a pull-up and a floater, to where it just wasn't, something that you would think is a strength of ours. Now, if you get into a low clock and you get some of those, you totally understand it. But give them credit. They defended well in the post. They guarded the three-point line. Their attention to detail defensively was big time. And but if you like their pieces, I told our guys, don't look at their record. Jamison Battle, Akpar, the guys that start for them, they can play anywhere in the country. So, I don't know what to tell. So I tried to tell our guys. I just said, hey, I recruited a couple of those guys. I said, we've watched them on tape. Sometimes in basketball, you're just not good consistently. One guy plays well, the other guy doesn't. You're when can we get these two guys to play well together? If you have 3 guards like they have, when can we get 2 of them to play well? And you look at that tonight, Bruce Thornton played really well. Jamison Battle played really well. Roddy Gale just didn't get as many opportunities as those guys did, but you look at their bench on top of 2 of their 3 top guys playing, then you get their bench was better than our bench, all right? So you get that's the game. That's what you need, but they haven't gotten that consistently. That's why their record's there. But don't doubt their ability. They have a lot of ability. They have talent. They have good basketball players. They just haven't been consistent together, and maybe this win can help them kind of push on like they did last year, because they were damn good at the end of the year last year.
Matt, 2 games in a row now where Zach picked up the 2 first half fouls, and
Yeah.
things kind of changed after that. What needed to be better tonight after he went out? It seemed like the rebounding in particular went
Right.
sideways. At the
Yeah, I
end
think
of the
that's
first
where you
half.
start with. Like we have to get those possessions. Like we got to take care of the ball. We got to rebound the ball. And when he goes out, you know, that's going to be an important part of the game. You know, just getting on the glass, not allowing second chance opportunities. I'll have to go back and watch. It's kind of tough to comb through in terms of, you know, possessions and everything when he went out. But yeah, we got to do a better job. You know, he's gotten a couple, but it's part of the game. Like sometimes you get one and you deserve it. I know the one that he drove, he fouled, and that was right in front of me. The one where they took a charge in the open court right there, I just saw the tail end of it. But I just don't like those charges when the ball's not involved. They tried to do another one right there. Like you just can't take an open court charge and the ball's not involved. It's just not. It's not a basketball play. But he called it, and so be it.
Matt, you're in the back.
Yes.
You said how preparing for them to prepare for the same team regardless of
Right.
who was coaching. Did you expect a different type of fight, atmosphere, and all the other things that aren't X's and O's as far as an Ohio State team that's been through a week like
Yeah.
this and you know coming out with probably
Right.
a different level of pride or
Right.
where it might be?
I think what's in balance is the psychic of your team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what you don't know about. Like what are they going to do? How are they going to respond? You see it in Major League Baseball all the time. They change the manager, and they win 4 out of 5, and then they go back to being who they were. Like, you know what I mean? You get that. I don't think in basketball you get that. Well, this doesn't happen a lot. Obviously in college, happens a little bit, but not very much. So that's what you didn't know. So, you know, we fought hard to be in this position, and you know, when you say you're going to get everybody's best shot, you think that's just kind of like a folk tale, like whatever. But you get everybody's best shot, like you get. So prepare for it. I've always said in preparation, prepare for their best. So when you see some guy averaging 4 points, he got a scholarship to Ohio State. You know what I mean? Like he just hasn't got the opportunity yet to do more because somebody's in front of him. But if he does get that opportunity, like understand he's a good player. Like I have good players that play 15 minutes. And you're like, well, why do you play in 15 minutes? Well, Zach Edey's pretty good. Braden Smith's pretty good, right? You got people in front of you, but don't doubt their ability as a player. So you're always trying to fight that because it's human nature with your own players, no matter if it's this scenario or not. But that's the one thing that you just don't know. Can we get them down and keep them down, and then like, you know, they go away, right? Which obviously didn't happen. They win the game. So, you know, where's their fight? What's it going to be? And I think they answered that. Their fight was great, and they were very productive.
You mentioned at the end of last season, you saw these guys
Right.
in the Big Ten tournament. Where does this team look compared to what you saw in the fight of that team?
Yeah. Would you say this is their best game today? I know it's the. Yeah. I watch on film, and I turn the volume down, so I don't mess with like environments and like broadcasters and stuff like that. So
They beat Alabama. That would be good.
Yeah, we beat Alabama too. So you got to outscore them because they can really, really score. So, you know, they're like Roddy Gale is a tough cover. Bruce Thornton's a tough cover. Jamison Battle, like I thought Klesmit did a great job on Jamison Battle at Wisconsin. His attention to detail was better than our attention to detail. It just was. And so we got to be better in like areas like that, not to contest their shots, but so they don't even shoot them. Because once you let a guy like that get his head up, and you see like that last one that he made, you know, that's a tough shot. But, you know, I think they're right there. I think they wanted to see that surge, you know, a little bit before. But to their defense, like you don't set your conference schedule. Like some things are difficult sometimes that are out of your hands, and then it kind of snowballs in the wrong direction. But no, I think they're right there because they have good pieces, you know. And then defensively they were better tonight. I can say that from watching film. They were better tonight than they have been. I think that's the one area. But I think you'll see a lot of coaches. You'll see a lot of coaches say that no matter what. Like we're kind of greedy in that area. We always want our teams to be better defensively, right? But I think today, I think we can honestly say, you guys cover them, that they were better on that end of the court. And then now when you throw in there, they made some shots. You know, they produced some steals. They got in transition. Their bench played well. There's just a lot of positives there that they, you know, now they're going to hope to, you know, sustain those.
Matt, your bench does a lot of good things, especially defensively a lot of the times. You got 4 points from him today. Mason obviously had a quiet day. Do you need more scoring from your bench?
We need more production from our bench. Like, and that's what, like, I kind of talked to our guys afterwards. Like, you know, when I played, I'd always want the truth, and the truth hurts a lot, right? But like, if you're a better offensive player than a defensive player, you know, be a two-way player. Like, we need more guys that, if they're out there because of offense, to be better on defense. They're out there because on defense, be better on offense. Like, just accept the truth. It's just like as a coach, like, I've just always tried to accept the truth, and when you can do that, you know, you can fix things. So I think that's the challenge for us, is when things don't quite go our way, can we hang on our defense and get stops and grind out a victory? We've done that this year. We didn't do that tonight.
Over there in that, Brian, last two.
Matt, you talked about the rebounding and the points off turnovers.
Yeah.
What were some of the similarities you saw in this game and in the games you played against Nebraska and Northwestern in the conference?
Yeah. Our 3 losses are all turnovers. I think this is the lowest turnover. I think it's 14, 16, and 17. I think we got an outlier in there where we've had something in between 14 and 17 and we won. But I think everything else has been, was it Rutgers?
Rutgers.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, like, our record is like off the charts since I've been at Purdue, when we have fewer turnovers and more rebounds, like 151 and 15 or something like that. But when they out-rebound us and they have fewer turnovers, which that didn't happen tonight, we're 6 and 48. So you can kind of see the importance of those stats, right? It's off the charts. So like, if we just go, say they have 6 turnovers and we have 14, so we're not even close. We can't even say 2 possessions, right? So give them credit, but also, like, we got to generate some turnovers too, and, you know, give Ohio State credit, you know, for that. But I would say that's where the common denominator is, if you're just picking out in those games. Now, Nebraska made some really tough shots. Northwestern made some tough. They scored more in that game. I know Northwestern definitely scored more. So when you let good players get their heads up, now you can actually do some good things, and they still make shots. Like Jamison Battles, that one shot at the end, like that wasn't bad defense. But the other 2, just to kind of let him get free and to get his head up, and that's all good players need.
Last one, Brian.
That kind of leads exactly what I was gonna ask you. I think in your 3 losses, it isn't just turnovers, but I think the opponent's averaging 20 points off of them, or
Yeah.
something like that.
There you
Is there
go.
something about the type of turnovers that your team
Yeah.
has commit? I know they come in all shapes and sizes, but is there something,
Right.
common denominators to why your turnovers?
Yeah,
might
well,
happen?
tonight the lion's share was, you know, Zed Key's, you know, hands. He had, I would say that was the most, if you're trying to dissect the total with it. I'm trying to think in the other games, you know, how those turnovers were. It's not coming to me, but like tonight, that's, you know, that was the most kind of prevalent thought, as, you know, get the basketball down low, you got to protect the ball, you can't expose the basketball. So, you know, give him credit for it, but, you know, we got to learn from it. We won 9 straight, is that right? So we had won 9 straight to this game, and put ourselves in a great position, and we just got to be better. We got to play better. But give credit to Ohio State. I thought they were really good.